Welcome to Jetty Island. Here we are doing another tent video, and this time we're doing the setup of the Venus 3 Deluxe Plus. Kai's going to give us a walkthrough and let us know how it all goes. You see, the Venus 3 Deluxe Plus is a huge, cavernous, three-person tent. And you'll notice, as we've shown in a lot of the videos, in this particular case, this big spacious tent is being set up by just one person. I think it's a real critical thing to note, that Kai can set this all up by himself. In fact, if he was in high wind situations, he could actually go ahead and just stake out one corner of the tent and thread all the poles through, set it up by himself without having the whole thing blow away. You see by the size of the fly how big this thing is going to be. Kai's just carefully laying out the tent so that he's got all the tunnels laid out in a nice flat position. Makes the pole insertion a lot easier. You'll notice that as he's threading the poles through, he's assembling the poles rather than having them in one long piece. That certainly makes it easier when you're in tight conditions rather than having one big pole that's dangling out there and slapping people in the face. Slides each pole all the way into the end of the tunnel. He's got three poles that go, three hoop poles that go across the tent, and one ridge pole. And I can't quite see it from here. I'll move in a little closer so you can see it. But each one of these poles is color coded, and color coded appropriately and matched on the sleeve. You'll notice there's a little terracotta colored sleeve liner so you know exactly what pole goes into what area. Again, he's sliding it all the way into the end socket, sets it up nice and cleanly, does the final assembly of the pole. Now he's grabbing the gray pole to go into the gray keyed blue pole. I'm sorry, the blue pole. Thank you, Kai. Keep me honest here. Slides that into the tunnel. This is the third of the hoop poles. Goes across the width of the tent. Now, if we were showing this without being in an exoskeleton format, you'd have three people dancing around this tent trying to get everything set up. But again, he's got it all nicely carefully laid out. You see it right there. And now he's assembling the ridge pole, and that runs across all three of the other poles. Again, assembling the poles as he's sliding them in to the tent. He's got them all inserted there. Now you're going to go ahead and see him arcing each one of the cross poles across like that. He's going to go ahead and set them up into the sockets. Start to see the tent take shape. He's putting that in place. And then the last of the hoops. And at this point, it looks like one of the non-freestanding tunnel tents, but you'll watch when he engages this arc pole, suddenly the whole tent begins to take shape. He's inserted on one end, and there you go. That arcs it up. Real snugs that in. Pull out one of the vestibules. Starting to see the tent take shape. It's getting out a stake. This tent space is maximized if you use two stakes, one on either end, to actually pull out the vestibules. Staking out the big vestibule right now. That firmly in the earth. Snugging up pulls. Put some nice tension onto the fly. And now he'll grab the back vestibule. Pull that out nice and tight. There you go. And now you've got the Venus 3 Deluxe Plus set up and ready for usage.
Got some heart there.
Getting it there?
A patch of concrete.
That's what happens when you're setting up tents in industrial wasteland. There we go. Maximize the vestibule. Great. Thanks, Kai. Looks good.